This conference will now be recorded.
Hello and welcome to today's agent training session. My name is Marlena and I will be going over how to input an order. This will be where you log in. The web address is app.cgmllc.net. First thing you'll do is you'll put your username in, password, and then you'll be able to go ahead and log in. Here you'll notice that in the top right-hand corner is your name. It's showing mine, as well as this will be where you can get to your order list. We're already in that page. So what we do to begin a new order, we'll go ahead and click New Order. This first portion up here, you go ahead and ignore it. You won't see it. It's because I'm using the back-end system. And we're going to go ahead and do an in-person order. We're going to use Ohio as our state. And then for the service offering that we're going to offer to the customer, it'll either be a combination Lifeline ACP, separate Lifeline and EBB only, or Lifeline only. Just so you know, EBB and ACP are synonymous with each other. The majority of the time, you'll be using a combination Lifeline order. Sometimes you'll be able to do an EBB only, but that is only when you're in the ACP only states. Lifeline will be like, say they already have an EBB discount with their internet provider, so we won't want to run them under EBB so they don't lose that, then that would be a Lifeline only order. For this example, we're going to be doing combination, and we're going to be doing it without a tablet. Make sure the customer is reading these at cessation so they're understanding what they're agreeing to, that they're signing up for the Affordable Connectivity Program, or ACP or EBB. The next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and do the signature box for the agent. Now, it does say signature, but I do want you to print your name, box letters like what we were learning in kindergarten, and make it as legible as possible. I'm using a mouse, so mine looks pretty rough, but make sure your letters are properly formed, and we can read your name. Anything like super sloppy like this is not going to be accepted. An X, that's not accepted either. So make sure you're doing your full first name and last name. I'm just going to go ahead and put my last name and my first initial just so we can get through this. Go ahead and click Start Order when you're ready to move on. Are there any questions on this page?
What service should I choose?
For this service selection, like I was stating earlier, you want to make sure that you're always doing combination. We want to make sure that we're providing the best service to the customer, and this way, they get a total of 14 gigabytes in our NLAD states, or 14 and a half, I apologize. Any other questions?
What are the ACP only states?
That would be Florida, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. Any other questions?
Do I have to add the suffix on the signature box?
Yes. If you are a junior, senior, what have you, you do have to include that. So say I was a junior, I would need to put JR in the box as well. We'll go ahead and continue by clicking Start Order. This box you will not see. This is something new that CGM is working on, so you can go ahead and skip that portion. For this example, we're going to use Medicaid. These are the different programs that are accepted in NLAD states. If you're in California, there are a lot more programs to offer because the CPUC chooses what programs are acceptable in the state of California. In NLAD, it's Federal Public Housing, Medicaid, SSI, SNAP, Veterans and Survivors benefits, and then they can also qualify through income. Any questions? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. This next page is where you'll start to input the customer's information. So we're going to use Jose Riviera Garcia III. One thing I do want to point out is some names have an apostrophe in them. In an Android device, you can go ahead and put the apostrophe as normal, but if you have an iPhone, what you'll do is you'll go to the apostrophe button, click and hold it down for like 2 seconds, and another menu will pop up and you'll be able to choose the apostrophe there. It's a simple fix to be able to put it in there. Then go ahead and fill out the date of birth, and then the last 4 digits of the social. The next thing is USAC will sometimes want to be able to reach out to these customers, so they'll need a valid phone number or a valid email address. The customer can provide both, but they have to at least have one or the other. So we'll go ahead and choose phone for now. And then we'll go ahead and enter in the address for the customer. This is an apartment, so this is considered permanent housing. So you go ahead and do permanent. Anything that is considered temporary would be like a hotel or a motel or like a halfway house or a shelter, things like that. This next box you will not see. We do not accept BQPs. We only provide service to the person who is getting the benefits themselves. Billing and shipping, please always leave them as residents. Do not change them. Make sure the customer is reading these and then they're agreeing to that by checking the box. When you have completed that, you'll go ahead and click next. Do we have any questions?
What if the customer doesn't have a valid email or phone number?
At that point, what you would do is you would ask them if they have a family member's phone number that's okay for them to use. If not, you can go, as the agent, can go ahead and set them up for an email address, or you can direct them to the local library where they can set one up there themselves. Any other questions?
How do I enter a customer's name if there's a hyphen?
So, for example, with Jose Riviera Garcia III, you would put the hyphen, put in Garcia, and then leave it all in one box. Because when there's a hyphen in a name, it makes it all one word. All right, we'll go ahead and continue. During this loading time, this is what's happening. They're doing a pre-authorization check through the National Verifier to see if they already have your information on file. Also in pre-prod, it takes a little longer than putting an actual application in. So this is our disclosures page, and make sure that either you are reading it to the customer or that the customer is reading them themselves, and then make sure that you're checking the box next to each attestation. Any questions? No. We'll go ahead and continue. At this point, this is where you're going to go ahead and upload the image. So we'll grab that. This is what our PVT sheet looks like. I'm going to go ahead and talk about that a little bit later so we can continue the application portion. Once it's uploaded, you'll go ahead and click Submit. And at this point, this is now your order screen. It is waiting for compliance to audit the order. At this point, once compliance has approved your order, it'll move over to National Verifier, but I do want to go over this. This is part of our training manual. When compliance is looking at your order, if there are any reasons that it needs to be denied, they will go ahead and choose deny, choose any of the black boxes as a reason, and then in this box, they will go ahead and specifically type out what is specific to your order. Say your images are blurry or you spelled the first name wrong, anything like that, they will go ahead and type it in this box specifically. Are there any questions?
Will I see the rejection comment?
Yes, so there'll be 2 boxes that are shown. The first box will be these generic black reasons, and then the second one will be what they actually specifically write out to you. So that is the most important box for you to look at, will be the second one. So at this point, if you get soft denied, it'll turn yellow and say retake data. If you are approved, it'll be green. And then, like I was stating earlier, after that, you will go ahead and go to the National Verifier. During this section, if you have any type of questions, what you're going to do is reach out to National Verifier themselves. That phone number is 1-800-234-9473. After National Verifier gives you an approval, you'll move into the service type screen. You'll go ahead and put in the SIM number, and then you'll validate IMEI, then validate, and then you'll choose the circle next to the plan, and then you'll choose what language, and then standard print or large print. And then at the next point, you will go ahead and choose a PIN for the customer. They actually choose this themselves. They may need to use it when reaching out to us or to like the CPUC or anybody like that. So have them choose a 4-digit PIN or whatever have you, and then also make sure they confirm it. Once they've confirmed, you'll go ahead and hit submit. And then after that, you'll get the order completion screen. It'll show your order number again, as well as the phone number that is now for the customer. Then you will move on to activating the device. You'll put the SIM, the battery in the phone, go ahead and power it up. While you're doing that, make sure you're talking to the customer and ask them permission to make the call for them. If they don't want you to make the call, then let them make the call themselves. We do have an activation line for either you or them to call. That phone number is 419-205-9509. It'll play a message, pretty much, make sure you're using your service every 30 days so that way you don't get disconnected for no usage. Things like that. It's a good message for them to hear. After that is done, make sure you put everything back in the box. And then my best practice is in the lid of the box, write down their phone number as well as customer services number. Customer services number is 877-266-7212. Another number that's important that I'm going to go over and talk about a little bit later is the agent support number. But again, I'll give that a little bit later in the call. The next thing that's important is the swap policy. So say you get through, you attach that SIM, IMEI, and the phone isn't working correctly. You will give us a call here at Agent Support, and what we'll do is we will go over, different procedures, maybe try to run a repair, see what is going on with the device. If we can't fix it, we'll swap it over to a new SIM and a new IMEI. But this is in the training manual. Again, make sure that you read this because it is important to know. Swaps have to be done during the time that we are here in the corporate office, which is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have a swap on the weekends, you need to make sure you hold on to that device until Monday and get that swap done on Monday. They have to be done within 24 hours. So anything from Friday after 7 until Monday morning, you need to call us and get that done on Monday. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and go over is the PVT sheet. So this is what it looks like when you receive it. The left is for NLED, the right is for California. You only need to use the one side in the state that you're currently working in. The reason why we have both on there is because some people, like in Arizona, will sometimes go to California and do orders, or like people in Nevada or California will go to those local states as well. So this way it's covered that you always have both of them on hand at all times. So first thing you'll do whenever you see this, you'll put an ID in this box, so like their driver's license, and then have the customer, very important, this is for the customer to fill out. Choose the plan that they are applying for, whether it's Lifeline only, ACP only, or Lifeline ACP combination plan. So after they circle that plan, normally, again, it'll be the combination, so always on the right. The customer needs to read these two questions and either X on them, fill them in, circle them, what have you. These need to be agreed to by the customer. At that point, have the customer print their name, not sign, print. And then you as the agent, you need to print your name as well, put on the order ID, and then put in today's date. Here's an example of what it should look like. There should be an ID here, the plan circled, the two circles are X'd, the customer printed their name, and then the agent printed their name, the order ID, and then today's date. The last thing that I'm going to go over is that agent support number. Agent support is only for you guys as agents. It is super important. Please do not ever give this number to a customer. We are here for you guys and you guys only. We have a great customer service team that handles all of our customers' needs. So if they ever need to call them, have them call that customer service number that I gave earlier. You as an agent, please keep this number handy for any and all questions that you have. The phone number is 877-319-5512. Again, 877-319-5512. Are there any more questions before we end the training session?
No.
Okay, then that's all for today. If you have any questions, feel free to call the agent support number. All right, now get out there, go do what you need to do. Thank you.